Have you ever wondered what the cost of living is in Phoenix, Arizona? Maybe you live here and you're comparing to where you came from, or maybe you're going to be moving here and you'd like to know how affordable the state really is. Well, I'm talking about all of that stuff today, guys. I'm talking about utility costs. I'm talking about groceries, healthcare, home costs, of course, property taxes, and affordability. So you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Caitlin McKeag, a realtor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and today I'm talking about the cost of living in Phoenix. Don't mind my dogs, Zoe and Cleo, who will be in the background popping around during this video. So it's important to know what the cost of living in Phoenix is. I can assume that maybe you're moving from out of state and wondering how expensive or inexpensive it is to live in Phoenix compared to where you're coming from. Or maybe you're just curious about the cost of living in various areas of the United States. Well, today I'm talking about Phoenix, and I'm going to start by talking about home prices, property taxes, and affordability, because after all, I am a realtor, and that's something that is super important if you're considering moving here, because you have to have a place to live, right? So the median home price in Phoenix, Arizona is about $310,500 right now, and I'm recording this in December of 2020. If we look back to December of 2019, the median home price was actually $275,000. We've seen significant increases in home prices here in Phoenix over the last year, and even leading up to that, home prices and our appreciation here has been increasing significantly. But at this time, we're seeing annual appreciation of almost 18%, depending on how you measure the change in home prices. So being at a median home price of about $310,500 is pretty high in terms of the history of Phoenix home prices. If you're considering renting, the median rental rate is about $1,750 a month, and that's for about a 1,500 to 1,650 square foot single family home. According to Wallet Hub, Arizona ranks number 9 in the country for having low property taxes. Our property taxes are about 0.68% of your home's value. So for the median home price in Phoenix of about $310,500, your property taxes on that are about $2,111 a year. Now, I haven't lived in other states, but I have heard stories about how high property taxes can be in states like Illinois and even in Texas. So a number like this should be pretty appealing if you're coming from any of those areas. According to Wallet Hub, Hawaii is the #1 lowest in terms of property taxes with only 0.27%. And if we go all the way to the bottom here and look at the highest property taxes, New Jersey is the winner with 2.47% in property taxes. That changes really significantly if you're living in Hawaii versus New Jersey. So I mentioned appreciation here in Phoenix, and we've had some really crazy appreciation rates of our home values lately. And when we look at this, it's great to be a homeowner, but if you are trying to buy a house, it can be a little bit discouraging because these prices are so high and they continue to climb. Well, we do measure affordability, and I want to show you this graph that shows how Phoenix ranks in affordability as compared to the US. Before I jump in, if this video is helpful to you, give me a thumbs up and a like. It would really help my channel. And hey, don't forget to subscribe. I post 3 new videos a week, all about living in Phoenix or Phoenix real estate. So you might want to check that out and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. This Home Opportunity Index is a measure of affordability as it relates to home values. This normal range of 60 to 75 means that 60 to 75% of the homes sold in Q3 are affordable by the population. So when we look at Phoenix, we see that they're at 61.9. So again, that means that 61.9% of the homes that sold here in Phoenix in Q3 could be afforded by the population here. If you look at the national average, 58.3 means that 58.3% of the homes that sold in Q3 could be afforded by the population. So the national average is lower than Phoenix, meaning that it's less affordable on a national scale than Phoenix. Phoenix is sitting in that normal range. 60 to 75 is really where we want to see that, but we're just barely there. We were higher a couple quarters ago, probably in Q1. I think we were around 64. So we've definitely come down and we're starting to slide out of that normal range. If you look back to where it says 86, that looks like that was around 2010, which makes sense because when it's high on this scale, it's saying that 86% of the homes that sold in that quarter could be afforded by the population. Obviously, 2010, we were coming out of the market crash. Homes were much cheaper and many people could afford to purchase them. So there's some information for you on affordability in Phoenix as it relates to housing and rentals and what you can expect in property taxes. Now let's talk about some of the other factors that relate to cost of living. Cost of living is measured on a national scale, and 100 is kind of the average. So any rating below 100 means that your area is more affordable, and any rating above 100 is less affordable than the average. Phoenix ranks at about 103.7, so very close to average, just slightly above. And years ago, to be honest with you, we were below average, so we were more affordable at that time. I think the housing market has had a lot to do with that increase. For all of the different costs of living, there is a ranking associated with that, so let's take a look. For grocery, Phoenix sits at 97.3, so a little bit more affordable than the average. Healthcare, 92.2. Housing, we've already talked about that. Utilities, about 101.8, so pretty close to average. Transportation is a little bit higher at 117.9. I think that's likely because we don't have a whole lot of public transportation, so it is pretty necessary for you to own your own vehicle living in Phoenix. For the most part, Phoenix is pretty average or close to average. I wouldn't say that it's the most affordable city in the entire US, but it's certainly not the most expensive either. One of the great things about Phoenix is there is a lot of opportunity for future employment here. We've had many companies that have relocated here and many companies that have decided that this is going to be the place where they start their business. We have a semiconductor company that's going to be opening up soon, and that'll be in the North Phoenix area, and a number of other companies that are hiring or expanding their businesses here. We've seen an increase in our job market by 3.3% in the last year. And over the next 10 years, it's predicted to increase by 48%. That's higher than the US average prediction, which is at about 33%. As it relates to taxes, we're kind of in that average range as well. Our sales tax is about 8.6%, whereas the average for the US is about 7.3%. The income tax is about 4.2%, and the US average about 4.6%. In terms of the job market, some of the largest industries that we have here or employment opportunities are going to be in manufacturing, retail trade, construction, and healthcare. We also have a lot of jobs in the tourism sector because we do get a lot of seasonal visitors. Arizona is a super popular place for people to visit when we have great weather between October and April, and then also for our seasonal visitors that come every year between those times. So resorts and tourism is a big part of our economy as well. So if you're thinking of moving to Phoenix, now at least you know that we are about average as it relates to cost of living. Our home prices have continued to increase along with the rental rates. So I would definitely say do this before things continue to get higher, because I have a feeling in 2021 our prices will only continue to increase. If you want to know more about what our real estate market is doing, I dissect that information on a weekly basis and also do a pretty robust monthly update. All of that is on my channel, so make sure to check out my other videos where I do my real estate market updates if you want to know more about that. If you're curious about home prices in Phoenix and want to check out what's for sale, check in the description below where I have a link so you can use my MLS to search for free. Or if you're curious about what the home prices are in all the suburbs around Phoenix, I've made a video on that, so check in the description below. I've linked that so you can check that out as well. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you to know what the cost of living is in Phoenix, Arizona. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me anytime by call, text, or email. I've been able to speak with many of you who've been looking to move here, and I'm happy to help any way I can. Thanks so much for watching, and until next week, I'm Caitlin McKegg with HomeSmart.